Hello, guys. My name is Simba. Today, I want to share with you my experience in ACN. Those of you who don't know ACN, it's a company called Oral Communications Network. It's based in the US, and it's got a lot of centers around the world, and it's in over 25 countries. I joined this company in 2012, and I quit in 2016. So what happened was that when I joined, I didn't have a chance to review this company. It was something that happened quickly, and I met a certain lady who I knew and who invited us to her house, and she said she had an opportunity to show us, and uh, and that somebody would come and present the business. So there was a man who showed up who was driving a Mercedes Benz, and he came out. He was wearing a suit, and he had his briefcase, and he was kind of like in a hurry, and he came over, and immediately he started presenting to me the business. He did his presentation and finished. So basically, what he showed me in that presentation was that the company offers essential services, products and services. So that if I would join the company, I would be able to market uh, gas and electricity, to share, to get people to sign up for gas and electricity, so I can get some commission out of their bills as they pay their bills every month. Home security, that's for the alarm systems. During those days, there was VoIP. It's a digital phone service which would connect on your broadband, and you'd make calls via your internet. I had a chance of using this because I also took one. It was quite a very good one. This broadband and TV also. Those days they were offering Virgin Media, and also this fixed landline and mobile phones. So those days they were kind of like contracted with Carphone Warehouse before it went bust. But that was the presentation, and I saw the possibility of me doing this, but I was kind of doubting whether I was going to be able to do the marketing part of it. And but the man really persuaded me. He was so charismatic. He said, "You can do this, brah. You can do this." And when I looked at him, and he said, "Oh, you see, I used to be working, and I left my job, and I'm now doing this business full time." And I said, "Wow." It was £199 to join, and I didn't have a chance to go and ask other people who have done the business whether to hear of their experience. I didn't have a chance of. I just got sold to it, and I paid 199 those days, and so that was the business. The marketing side of it was this.
With ACN, a powerful component of our winning business model is how you get paid. This is what sets ACN apart. Every time one of your customers buys a service through your online store, you can earn a percentage of that customer's bill. This is called residual income. Depending on how many customers you have, you can earn a percentage of their bills every month. Think about it. Every time you acquire a new customer or help an existing customer get an additional service, you give yourself a pay rise. And that's just the start. As you share your business with others, introducing them to the ACN opportunity, you can also earn overriding residual income on their customers. Overriding residual income works when someone you've introduced becomes an independent business owner. sets up their own online store, and starts signing up their own customers. When this happens, you get paid a percentage of their customers' bills too. The potential is limitless.
After joining, straight in, the first thing they tell you to do is to come for training. And in those training sessions, you would be trained how to recruit people. There are scripts that you have to learn, what to say to people. I learned all those scripts of how to break up a conversation and, start talking and bring the conversation to a point where you introduce the business to that person. And recruiting was one of my toughest things. It wasn't comfortable. I wasn't comfortable with it. So in those meetings, we were told to open our phone book in our phones and write every name, every single name. Now the pressure for writing a list of 100 names, a name list, the pressure was just too much, to the point where I wasn't comfortable, because I wanted to protect my relationships with some people. There were some people who I knew that if I introduced them and they would fail in this business, it was going to jeopardize my relationships. And I tell you, up to today, one of the things that I actually am proud of was that there are people and family members and other friends whom I have not introduced to this business, because I was really, really protective of my relationship with those people. And I can imagine today, if I had recruited those people and they had lost money in this business, I don't know where our relationship would be today. Okay, right. So here is where I got to. When I started this business, I managed to recruit somebody, and so if you can see here, like this one is executive team trainer. So that's the second position from the first. The first one was qualified team trainer. That's when you join the business. You have paid your £199, and you've gotten your services. So you've got to switch your broadband, your everything in your house to ACN services, so that you get points to keep your position. And then you start recruiting that same person. The person that you recruit does exactly the same. So if you have somebody who also qualifies under you, as it is here, and you've got another one in another line who qualifies, you become an executive team trainer. So I got to this position where I was executive team leader, where I had myself there, and I had a certain lady that I managed to recruit, who then had a massive team. That lady she just blew up. She just blew up that business. How she was recruiting, I have no idea how she was doing it. But I could not get to this position here, which is team coordinator. I could not become team coordinator because I needed 2 more people who would do exactly the same thing that this lady had done. So I had to have an executive team trainer, 2 executive team trainers, and 1 QTT for me to. I had all those actually, because I qualified as an executive team trainer. But the thing is that the other line wasn't that successful, but I needed 1 more line to make it successful. So I needed to make 3 people who were successful. That was where the challenge was, for me to have 3 people. I already had 1 line, so these customer points depends on the amount of services you get on each of these people. So if you have people who are not working hard, who are it where it just doesn't work for them, you are not gonna go anyway. But if somebody along the line succeeds, then that will carry you along. So this is where my problem was. I tried for 4 years. I tried for something like 2 years. I've been trying because the other 2 years, I managed at least to get some people, but my other 2 years were the toughest because I was trying to build another line in order for me to get to team coordinator. In terms of the money, the most I earned was something like £400. Was the most I earned monthly. I think I earned it for something like 2 months. And as you know, if a business goes down to any of your people that are under you, your income also goes down. So if somebody quits, you are down. If somebody quits, you are down. So I just came to a point where I just said, wait a minute, it's not working for me. I started learning a lot about network marketing, about the psychology, about all those. There's quite a lot. So I began to really see that there were lots of people in this business who were losing money, who were not making any money. One of the things I want to speak about is the events. You may say, what were you doing 4 years in this company? What exactly were you thinking? Couldn't you have just quit in the second year or your first year? Well, tell you what, their events are so motivating that it's like a cult. Their events are so motivating. If you go to one international event, I tell you, you get so completely sold out to the business because you are going to see people getting promoted, coming on the stage. You're going to see all these people from all over the world getting promoted, getting to the highest levels. And I tell you, it's so encouraging. You come there a changed person. It's like a cult. You will so much believe in this business model. You will so much believe in this business to the point where nobody can tell you that this business doesn't work. You become, it's like you literally breathe it. And there's so many motivational speakers coming on stage, and quite a lot happens there, and there's so much energy. Okay, guys, this is my experience. This was my experience, and I quit the business in 2016 because I just couldn't keep spending money with false hope. I realized it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. I'd been to many of those events, and I realized a lot of people were failing this business. They just couldn't make it. I mean, good for those guys who made it, who we saw going on stage, getting their rewards. But one of the things I wanted to talk about is that I met a person who was a regional vice president in that business. And the guy told me that there is no more money there. And this is a guy who was on a very high position, the position that I dreamt of getting to. That's one of the second highest on the top. The second highest on top. And he opened his account, his online account, and he showed me, guys, the amount that he was making. I tell you, I was shocked that a person who, with that position that I dreamt of was making such little money like that. He was so open to me. Well, I was speechless. I just couldn't believe it. So I realized, well, so is that the position that I really wanted? So he told me there is no money. There's no money in ACN now. Things have changed and there's no more money and people are leaving, and you know, I'm glad I left. I'm glad I left because that was an eye-opener to me. And have you been involved in network marketing? And if you were involved, what was your experience? Just tell us in your comments your experience. If you were successful, tell us about your success story. I mean, there are people who have succeeded in this business, and if you were successful, tell us your story so we can be happy for you, and good. And but if you were not successful, you can also tell us your story as to what was your experience and what were your difficulties. All right, guys, thank you very much for listening.